All right, welcome back. So in this video, we're going to talk about groups. So we have active groups, deleted groups, and then shared mailboxes. So we covered shared mailboxes a little bit in the users panel, where you could basically, if someone resigns or is fired, you can share their mailbox with somebody else so that that person can take over their duties and get their emails. Okay, and then it would just be shared in their email box. So let's talk about active groups first. So we don't have any groups, okay? But we have a couple groups here. So we have all company, okay? We have all users, okay? And then we have Josh Warner as a group, okay? Now, in the previous video, when we were talking about policies and autopilot and active devices, I was talking about groups where you could set restrictions with policies. And an example of that would be this. So if I go to add group, okay, and let's just make a group, okay. So let's call this Microsoft 365 create group email to collaborate. Okay, you can do that. You can also do distribution, creates an email address for a group of people. And what you can do there is if you wanted to send out an email blast to the whole office, let's say, you can create an email address for the entire office, okay. And then what you could do is, so if we go next and we call this office, okay, entire office email list, okay, and then do next, and then you can do group email address. So you could do office at your business, okay. I'm just going to see if it's available. It should be no problem. Okay. And so once that goes through, then you can click finish, and this will give you the ability to type in office at your domain, which mine is joshwarner.onoffice on Microsoft.com. And once I type that in and I add everybody to that group, then everybody can get the email that I'm sending out. Okay, so I can blast the whole office with this address. Okay, so that's how you add a group. Okay, and that's with the distribution. Now, mail-enabled security, a distribution list that can also be used to control access to OneDrive and SharePoint. Okay, this is, you can use this to control access to OneDrive and SharePoint. And then security controls access to OneDrive and SharePoint and can be used for mobile device management for Microsoft 365. Okay, now this one up here creates a group email to collaborate. You can also add Microsoft Teams for group conversations, files, and calendars. So you can use this to create groups to work with, to collaborate together using Microsoft Teams. Okay. If I go here, let's talk about deleted groups. Okay. So if I create a group and then delete it, it's going to show up here. Okay. And the groups will be shown for 30 days before the group and its associated data are permanently deleted. Okay. So it'll live here for 30 days. And then if you don't restore it by then the data is gone. Okay. Then we have shared mailboxes, which again, we talked about in the users section when we talked about active users, and basically when you delete it, it gives you the option to do this exact thing of sharing the mailbox so that person can utilize the mailbox. Okay. A new user can utilize the mailbox of someone that was terminated or resigned or left or whatever happened. You can give that person access. And I did this a lot in the job that I had as director of IT. I had to do this on mostly a weekly basis because people were getting fired all the time because it was a quick turnaround business that I was in. Okay. So people were getting fired all the time. And so this was a real pain in the neck to be updating this information. And on top of that, they wanted it yesterday. Once they fired the person that day, they're like, cut them off, do this. They eventually got better. The CEO, I worked directly with the CEO, and he would tell me a day or two before they were going to fire the person, or if they left, he said, shut them down. Don't give them any more access. And so, again, this is imperative that you have a process in place, whether you're the CEO of the company, CTO of the company, director of IT, an IT technician, user administrator, whatever your title is, make sure that you have a policy in place or a procedure in place that covers this, so that when people are terminated or they resign, you have a process that they go through to make sure that you get all the data that you need. Okay, it's imperative to understand that. Okay, so that is groups. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.